Hello everyone, it's Walt here today and I'm giving you guys another Rich Dad Poor Dad principle. And today we're talking about our fifth lesson in this pretty awesome series here. And this lesson's a really good one. This one's the idea that the rich invent money, okay? And so what is this all about? What is the idea of inventing money? How does that work? How do you do that? And yeah, okay. So most people think of money as a finite thing that you have to trade your time for, and they are wrong about that one, okay? Because you can often trade things for, other things that can be worth more money. So trading's a way to make money because of that. Investing, of course, passive income, all these kind of manners are ways where you don't have to trade your time for money. But most people, or like somewhere around like 96% of people, tend to be in this idea that you have to trade your time for money, and that's what you need to be doing. And that is wrong, as we have talked about previously, because overall you're eventually going to run out of time. So you have to have your money make money for you, and that's a big deal. And you also want to be able to have some passive income coming in, because that is going to be extremely valuable in the long run. So yeah, okay, what is this about inventing money? How does that work? How do you do that? How do you put that into practice? Well, there are a few different cases of inventing money. I'm first going to talk about cryptocurrencies, because those are a big thing these days, where some people know a lot about them, some people know nothing about them, some people try to get rich quick and blow it on them, some people have success in their market, things like that, and that's about true for every trading market. About 10% of people will have massive success at it, and most everybody else will not. But let's get into just cryptocurrencies. So Bitcoin, what gives Bitcoin its value? Well, to mine Bitcoin, of course, you have to, have a certain amount of your computer CPU or your miner or whatever dedicated to running transactional bits for it. So because of the blockchain system, what it is doing is it is based on all these computers and such that are going to run your transactions for you, that are going to say, oh, this was transferred from here to here to here to here. And as we know, there will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin unless the algorithm were to be messed with, which I think is very unlikely. So this just tells you that's the cap, okay? And that's how much there is eventually going to be. I don't believe we are there yet, but we're getting a lot closer to it, and the number of coins mined each year is going to shrink exponentially because of that. So what does this mean about its value? Well, there's a finite supply. There will only ever be 21 million of these coins. And then what else gives it its value? Well, nothing. You see, it's just a number, okay? You're just getting a number from one place to another. So why at this time is this worth, over $7,500? And Bitcoin, of course, has been up to near 20,000 at this point in history. Maybe in the future it will spike far above that, but at this point the high it's ever been at was back in 2017, hitting around 20,000 or so. So why would this little cybernetic thing be worth $20,000? And the answer is only because people think it is, okay? Mass psychology is the key to the value of money. Now, Bitcoin is not something you can raise and adjust the interest rates of like you can prop up a currency, as central banks and the Fed, of course, will do in other countries. Now, that's just a little bit of economics there, but if you look to these kind of things, that's just how it's going to work, okay? Currency only these days has value because people believe that it does, because it is backed by, say, the US government, for example. The US dollar only has value because it is backed by the US government. The euro by the European Union, of course, and etc. for all the countries of the world. The yen, the yuan, the pound, all these kind of currencies are only there and only have value because the country says they do, okay? These are fiat currencies. Now, if you look a little bit further than this, there used to be currencies back in the day here. The gold certificate before 1928 in the United States, for example, was a certificate where you could exchange it for gold. So it was always tied to gold. And after that point, up till about 1957, they kept printing these, but they actually kept printing them regardless of what the date says on your blue sealed dollar bills there. They actually kept printing them up till 1964 when they switched off of silver, okay? Permanently, you had silver certificates, so your money was always good to be exchanged for silver, and so it was always tied to the value of that commodity. But money is no longer tied to that. It is just guaranteed by the government, okay? So as long as people believe in the government, government, it has value. But as soon as people were to not believe, if that would ever happen, which it's very unlikely that would ever happen, but say that did happen, and this does happen to some governments in the world, like Turkey has recently had a problem with this. Argentina has had a major devaluing of the currency. A lot of places will go through this kind of stuff, particularly when they don't have their economics right. So the value of your money could quickly fall away. And that's just based on people's faith in the government. So the idea here is that if people can have governments that create money, then you can do it too, okay? Now, you can't necessarily do it in terms of printing your own dollars, but you can if you invent your own cryptocurrency, which you can actually do pretty quickly if you're interested in that and you try to want to get it marketing and trading so it will actually have more value. But regardless of that, that's a way to invent your own money. Otherwise, what you'd want to be doing is invent something that people are willing to pay a bunch of money for, okay? So the fact is, you can invent something that is basically worth money. Say you make a great video, okay, that eventually will pay out thousands of dollars. If you make this video in, say, 10 minutes, what you've done is actually make, say, $10,000, okay? Now, what you've actually done is make an asset that's slowly going to pay out these $10,000, likely over a lifetime, depending on your ad revenue rate. But beside the technicals, what you're doing is you're creating something that is literally money. Now, in the movie Schindler's List, which, as we know, is a very sad movie that basically is about the Holocaust, there is a part at the beginning, though, that's really not. That's more of a success story about Schindler there, where he's asked by this woman, what are you doing in this factory? Just making pots and pans. And he's like, no, what we're doing is we're making money, okay? Which is literally what he's saying. They're making pots and pans and selling them to the German army because they can exchange that, getting paid for it. And that's exactly what this is about. This is about making something that is worth money, okay? The truth is you were inventing something that is money right there, okay? And that's all of what profit is, taking what you can do to buy up materials or resources or your time, whatever you're spending to create something, and then to sell it at a higher price. That's profit. So the idea of being rich is not to trade your time for money, but to create things that will make you money, okay? Either through passive income, your investments, regardless, okay? What you're doing is you're actually inventing money through that process. And that's basically the principle here. Anyway, that's about it for this one. I'm Walt. I'll see you guys next time with our next video. So thanks for watching. Let's get the conversation going about this rich dad, poor dad stuff because it is pretty cool kind of stuff. Anyway, see you next time.